and Samael, the sacred union in the shadows. In the hidden corridors of mysticism, few names echo with as much tension and power as Lilith and Samael. To some, they are demons. To others, fallen angels. But to those who walk the deeper initiatory path, they are much more. Archetypal forces, guardians of truth buried in darkness, and essential mirrors for the soul's liberation. Lilith is the primal feminine force, wild, sensual, untamed. In Hebrew legend, she was Adam's first companion, formed not from his rib but from the same earth. She refused subjugation, choosing exile over obedience. Her myth speaks not only to feminist defiance but to a deeper spiritual truth, the rejection of false harmony in favor of authentic, often disruptive, selfhood. She embodies the lunar mysteries, the intuitive realms, and the voice of the repressed. Samael, in turn, is the fiery force of divine judgment. Known in mystical texts as the Angel of Death or Severity of God, he does not destroy aimlessly. He cuts, tests, confronts. In Kabbalistic symbolism, he is linked to the sphere of Geburah, where divine strength and discernment reside. He does not offer comfort, but clarity. His energy appears when illusions must be severed, when cycles must end, when the soul is ready to pass through fire. Together, Lilith and Samael represent a kind of forbidden alchemy, the union of repressed feminine desire and uncompromising masculine judgment. They are consorts in the Kabbalistic shadow world, rulers of the Qliphothic realms, not as adversaries of God, but as the necessary shadows that reveal whether your light is real. They dwell in the margins of mystical tradition because they represent that which religious systems often seek to contain. Sexual sovereignty, power without approval, knowledge without hierarchy. In the initiate's journey, they do not appear at the beginning, but later, when the aspirant has moved beyond surface symbols and easy light and begins the descent into the inner underworld. Lilith appears first as temptation, but reveals herself as the keeper of sacred truths you were taught to suppress. Samael arrives not to punish, but to measure, to see if your will is true, your intention clean, and your soul prepared to walk with integrity through fire. Their union is deeply symbolic. It is not about romance or affection. It is about polarity and integration. Where Lilith awakens, Samael refines. Where Lilith liberates the voice and desire of the soul, Samael burns away its illusions and attachments. When their energies meet within a person, the result is not chaos, but wholeness born of confrontation. In esoteric work, these forces can be invoked not to worship, but to recognize. Lilith calls forth the parts of you that have been silenced. Sensuality, rage, intuition, creativity. Samael answers by asking, what are you willing to release? What must be cut so that you may rise? To work with them is to step into a sacred fire. Not everyone is ready. Not everyone will understand. But those who do, who dare to look into the mirror Lilith holds and stand under the sword of Samael without flinching, will emerge more sovereign, more true, more whole. They are not to be feared, only respected. They are not evil, only honest. They do not demand obedience, only truth. And in that truth, in the embrace of shadow, a new light is born, one that does not blind, but sees clearly. Ritual of the Shadow Union, Lilith and Samael. This ritual is not for power over others, but for power within the self. It is a rite of unveiling, where the hidden becomes known and the severed becomes whole. Prepare yourself not as a servant or supplicant, but as a sovereign soul ready to meet the forces that dwell in shadow, not to flee from them, but to face them with awareness and will. Begin in silence. Let the room be dim, the air still. A single black candle burns for Lilith, flickering like the pulse of the unconscious. A red candle stands for Samael, steady as the blade of judgment. Light them with intention, speaking their names not aloud, but from the depth of your being. Let smoke rise. Myrrh or patchouli or whatever herb speaks of ancient memory. Stand or sit before them, grounded, bare of pretense. In your left hand, hold something that binds you, a word, a name, a memory. In your right, hold nothing. Prepare it to receive. Call to Lilith, not with fear, but with the voice that once you silenced. Welcome her presence, the untamed, the free, the sensual, the wild. Feel her enter like moonlight through the cracks. Speak to her if you can, or let her speak to you through sensation, image, emotion. Ask her, what part of me have I buried to be accepted? What fire still burns beneath my silence? Now turn inward and sense Samael's presence. Not cruel, not cold, but exact. Feel his gaze like a flame over your skin, not to harm, but to reveal. He does not ask your devotion. He requires your clarity. Offer him your falsehoods, your worn-out beliefs, your fear of endings. Ask him, what must be cut so I may be reborn? Bring both hands to your heart, the one holding the object and the one holding emptiness. Let the two meet. Let the bound and the free, the feminine and the fierce, touch within you. Say, Lilith, awaken in me the voice I denied. Samael, awaken in me the sword I feared to raise. Together, break the chains I wrapped around myself. Together, make me whole in truth. Sit in stillness, do not seek visions, receive what comes. If tears arise, let them fall. If laughter comes, let it echo. You are not performing, you are remembering. When you feel complete, speak gratitude, not to gods or demons, but to the forces within that trusted you enough to answer your call. Extinguish the candles as an act of closure, not rejection. Bow your head, not in submission, but in reverence for what you now carry, the wild light of the night and the sacred flame of the sword. Let this ritual stay with you. Let it work in dreams, in gestures, in decisions. Lilith and Samael do not fade. They walk beside the soul who dares to walk whole.